Welcome to the VIOLA Decor Studio channel. Today we will make a vintage decorative egg for Easter. This is not a very complicated but multi-layered work. We will create the effect of an old thing that was passed down in the family from generation to generation. I used a foam egg as a base. Before starting work, it needs to be primed with white acrylic paint. First, we will make three-dimensional elements using a silicone mold with rabbits, twigs, and flowers. Since the basis for the decor is an egg and it has a rounded shape, we need elastic elements for the decor. We will use a self-hardening mass for them. Sprinkle the mold with talcum powder or baby powder. Place pieces of mass in the mold, tamp well with your fingers. Use a stack or palette knife to remove excess mass and level the surface of the elements. Carefully remove the elements from the mold. While the elements are not dry, you need to glue them to the base. For gluing, use transparent acrylic glue, liquid nails. Make a composition of elements as desired, according to the chosen style and idea. Let the glue and volumetric elements dry naturally. This is at least a day. Cover the rest of the mass very carefully so that it does not dry out. A year passed between the previous and the next stage. Since I did not have time to make this egg before the holidays, I left it for the next year. And unfortunately, it was damaged during storage. After all, it is soft foam plastic. Therefore, I had to make adjustments to the work. Cover the dents with putty. Apply putty with a palette knife to the surface in a thin layer. Let it dry well. Level the surface with sandpaper and remove excess putty from the surface. Clean it from dust. The plus of this turned out to be that the putty covered the dot texture of the foam plastic. Next, you need to paint the egg. I painted the lower part in dark blue and the upper part in light blue. Paint the background, trying not to stain the white volumetric decor. But this still cannot be avoided, so then it is important to paint the entire volumetric decor with white acrylic paint. Dry everything well. Now let's move on to two-step craquelure. I will say right away that the key to the success of craquelure is to read the instructions and do as it says, because each craquelure manufacturer has its own technologies. In my version, it is 2 water mediums. First, the first step is to apply in several layers and dry each separately. The size of the cracks will depend on the number of layers. I applied 2 layers. Now the second step is to apply the medium. And let it dry only naturally. During this drying, the process of forming cracks will take place, and only after complete natural drying is it important to heat the surface of the craquelure with a hot hairdryer, and the cracks will crack brightly. Next, you need to emphasize these wonderful cracks. I like to do this with dry pigments. I'll use bronze eyeshadow and gold pigment. I'll apply them in alternating sections on the surface of the egg so that the cracks look a little different and more natural, somewhere lighter and somewhere darker. Apply with a soft brush or finger in rubbing circular motions. Next, for my craquelure, you need to cover the surface with non-water-based varnish. I used spray varnish. Unfortunately, I only had matte varnish, so I had to play around with varnishes. First, I covered the surface with spray varnish, blocking the craquelure. But it killed the glossy shine of the surface. And then I covered the surface with water-based acrylic glossy varnish to bring back this shine. Because it is the glossy shine that is inherent in the ceramic surface that I imitate on the egg. Let the varnish dry naturally, each layer separately. In principle, you can stop at this stage too, but I decided to age the decorative elements. Do you think it was worth leaving it white, or does the aged look cool too? Write your opinion in the comments. For aging, I used slightly diluted solvent bitumen. Dilute with an odorless solvent. You can also use bitumen wax. Apply bitumen. Let the bitumen flow into the depth of the relief and wipe off excess bitumen with a dry cloth, especially from the protruding relief. Leave the bitumen only in the depth of the relief of the decorative elements. The degree of darkening is up to your desire and idea. Now let's move on to the egg stand. In this version, it is mandatory, since the egg itself is foam plastic and light, and the decor on it is heavy. As a result, it collapses under the weight of the decor. I took a glass candlestick. It is important to prime it well with white acrylic paint, or whatever color you need. You will need 3 to 4 layers. Dry each layer separately, preferably naturally. Then the paint will adhere well to the smooth glass. Otherwise, any movement on the surface can remove the paint. After priming, my candlestick became completely white, and I added blue and blue stripes to it in unison with the colors of the egg. Now you can support the channel and become a sponsor. In the subscriptions, there are options with additional video tutorials and training from me. I will be happy to create with you. Details in the description of the video. After painting, Cover the surface of the stand with acrylic water-based varnish. I took glossy. Let the varnish dry well naturally. If you decide to age the egg, like me, then the stand also needs to be aged. Apply bitumen to the surface and wipe off the excess with a dry cloth. Leave the bitumen deep in the relief. Please share this video with your friends so that more people create with us. And let's add a little gold. I took the green gold patina wax and, using light finger movements, applied the wax to the protruding parts of the stand. I also applied a little gold to the protruding relief of the decor on the egg. Moreover, I applied wax and then removed the excess wax with a napkin with a small amount of solvent, leaving it only on certain areas. This will give the effect that the gold has rubbed off over time. Before putting the egg on the stand, let it dry naturally in a separate state for several days, preferably at least 3 to 4. How do you like the result? I am delighted! The result is a stylish Easter decoration, supposedly an old egg on a stand. Write your impression in the comments. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's create together. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. With love, Anna VIOLA Decor.